First and foremost, good morning.
Good morning.
So, we affirm that when in conflict, financial freedom ought to be valued over societal welfare and other social programs. Again, my side affirms that. Allow me to paint a picture. A man who is fit, healthy, and by every means perfectly capable of holding a job is unemployed with a family that needs feeding. So instead of an honest, hard-worked-for paycheck, the man receives a check in the mail from the government. That check comes from honest working Americans. Why take our money and give it to someone who doesn't deserve it? So I'm going to define a few words for you guys from our resolution. Financial freedom, we defined as the freedom to make your own financial needs, in other words, a job. Our second definition is societal welfare, any form of governmental help for any individual in the form of financing. This may include checks or food stamps, or other forms, of course. Our third definition is social programs, which is any governmental institution that releases welfare. An example is Access, which gives help to the lower classes in the form of health insurance. Our thesis. Financial freedom is overall superior over societal welfare and or social programs, in that financial freedom helps honest Americans work towards the American ideal of hard working. Financial freedom helps America by fulfilling the American ideal of the honest working American man. In effect, this causes fewer people to be sucked into the black hole of welfare. That's our first claim. In other words, our first claim states that an example would be an immigrant comes to America and they're like, okay, I can either work and be a true American, or I can just sit around, let the government pay my needs, and just look like a bum to the rest of America. Which sounds like the better option. Obviously, to us, the better option would be sitting down, getting a job, and working hard. Our second claim would be financial freedom leads to education. In a sense, this is another example would be you have a student, one of our ages, one of our peers, who is brought up by welfare, meaning their parents receive a check, they don't work, they get their money in the mail, and they're brought up by welfare and the fact that they don't work at all for the money they receive. Or you have another peer that goes to work from as soon as they get out of school until they go to sleep. Some don't even sleep because they have that job. Who's gonna succeed more in life? I would say that the person with the job, the teenager with the job will. Mostly because they'll have that experience and they'll say, you know what, I need to keep working to be what I want to be in life. That's what I really want to do. And our third claim, okay, people with financial freedom have the power to change those around them. So let's go take it back to the second claim and say there's this kid that got a job and he's doing great. Well, what is he going to do? He's going to tell other people, hey, let's get a job, This is what it's like to have a job. I'm doing great. I don't have to worry about people getting welfare, people giving me welfare when I just have that job. So that person can convince others into saying, you know what, maybe I should be more like this person. And not just be more like my parents or someone else that I know. Because there are many people in the United States on welfare, more than should be. And overall, welfare is just not that great.
30 seconds.
Okay, so, would you like to add anything?
Well.
All right, so let's take this into welfare, why we think that welfare is not good. And that would be that people should be working, that it doesn't really help the lower class in the sense that welfare is doing the exact opposite that it wants to do, which is help the lower class. It's actually not helping the lower class. It's actually harming them because an article from Crown.com states that welfare really traps them at this lower level and inadvertently teaches those who rely on it that their actions don't have consequences. Again, that's from Crown.com. So pretty much it's saying welfare is like, okay, come, get us the money, get us the money. And then this guy's like, okay, I'll take that money from I'll take that money from the government, but then how does that really help him? It's not helping him at all, you know? Okay, sure, it's paying for food or whatnot, but he's never going to be a true American in the sense that they're not going to have financial freedom. So I say get a job and be American. Work the American democracy. Economy. Yeah, I'm done.
It's done, you're done.
Okay.
I was about to say, those are...
What does it mean to you to be an American?
To have, doesn't really pertain to the resolution, but in this sense I would say that to be an American would be to have financial freedom and not live off of welfare. That is how I define financial freedom, is to live the American way. So again, I state that that's how we define it. Financial freedom is, in our first claim we stated that to have financial freedom is to live the American ideal of an honest, hardworking American person.
But don't you think we'll have like freedom rights? So we have like our own rights, and everybody has the right to have what everybody has. So not everybody has not everybody can work. Not everybody can live like the ability to work. So don't you think that it's good to have welfare for people who can't have it, like disabilities and all that?
Okay, I would need to hear a few specific disabilities first before I answer that question.
Well, some people are like with wheelchairs and they're blind, like stuff like that, and some mothers don't have the money to pay for
Their kids.
their kids and child care and all that. So.
Okay, well, I know people on wheelchairs that can still move their arms. They can do like a typing job. I know people that are blind that, you know, have played the piano before, and they can get a job playing the piano. There can be many. I don't think at all any disability should affect the people of Americans' work.
But sometimes it's not enough money for them to cover all their like stuff they need, like bills and all that stuff.
Yeah, but not everyone could play the piano blind.
Mm-hmm. But maybe they can do something else. They need practice at it. They need practice at it before they can be perfect. I mean, I'm saying that disability shouldn't hinder people from working at all. If they can breathe, they can work. That's the way I see it.
Even if you're still breathing when you're a vegetable.
Well, I mean, you guys are taking me the wrong way. I mean, like, obviously,
You said it the wrong way.
a vegetable is something completely different than you guys didn't make yourself clear. I
Okay,
mean,
if you're breathing, obviously, like,
if you can move
Exactly.
physically, if you can communicate like a normal human being, yes, you can get a job. Don't be on welfare.
Tony, okay, you said about people coming to immigrants coming. How do you know they all work?
How do I know
Yeah,
that?
because some of them don't have papers, so they don't work, and you say they get welfare. How do you know they get welfare? All right.
I want to look at source E a bit because you mentioned that a bit. You said, and correct me if I'm wrong, you said $195 billion were spent on entitlements?
Can you repeat your question again?
I misunderstood you guys when you said $195 billion were spent on entitlements.
I think it was 7. Yeah.
Yes, it was.
It was.
It was 7? Okay. And can you repeat what entitlements really are, please? Can you restate its definition? Or if you guys didn't give a definition, can you guys give us a definition, please?
Entitlement.
Yes.
I don't have a definition.
We only have welfare and societal. For
Do you guys have a definition for capitalism?
Isn't it the overall?
No.
No? All right. Well, okay. So let's bring this to source F. So, may I? You used the quote that 8 years after I flunked out, got pregnant, eloped, had a child, divorced, and then fumbled my first few do-overs of jobs and relationships, I was readmitted to the University of New Hampshire as a full-time undergrad. And if I can, I would like to ask Anthony what he said about that quote. What did you say about that quote?
Read it again.
Yeah. No. What did you say about the quote? Not read the quote.
Okay, if you didn't hear. I said, this goes to show that everyone makes mistakes and need a second chance. Whoever provides that second chance.
Well, I think that woman was like on her 12th chance. Yes, me. I mean, yeah.
What
Well,
do you mean by that?
What do you mean by part-time?
I believe this is the affirmatives cross-examination, not the negatives. Anyhow,
Anyway.
could you guys imagine America without welfare? Would that?
No, because then you're not helping people who need it, and then people would do maybe bad things to get what they want. So.
Can you guys imagine America without financial freedom?
Well, I said financial welfare is key to the societal freedom.
Alright, time's up. I think you guys have some hard time for your speech.
Yes. Okay, so this is our first rebuttal.
They offer no true definition of capitalism or entitlement, so it looks like we're going to have to continue without knowing what those are. Secondly, to us, $795 billion seems like a lot of money. We'd rather be spending it on more important things such as science and educational programs, which in turn leads to financial freedom.
So, a few faults that I found with their claims would be that they never affirmed or negated. So, just to clarify, we affirmed, they negated. They also said they couldn't imagine an America without welfare. Well, I can surely imagine America without welfare. I mean, it was like that 200 years ago. That's how this nation started. No one was on welfare 200 years ago. No one came up with that until later. That there's a specific year in there, but I believe it was during the Great. I can't remember currently. I would have to look at my sources. But anywho, they also didn't define capitalism. I heard that word.